3.
Hey everyone, it's Mindy from the OG Sports Network coming to you live with some Hot Capper updated picks. Today we have Dave from EPA Sports. He's going to go over some college basketball and some NHL for your holiday. Big slate today, 10 games in the NHL. Some have already started. So hopefully you can get in and get some winners here for the later part of this evening. But let's go ahead and check out ogcappers.com. There it is. You can see Dave is up there on the leaderboard. Had a really nice day, 6-1 yesterday. I think most of those were in the NHL, so he's going to go over that. And if you want to go ahead and see what Dave has available, all you do is click on his name there, EPA Sports. You can see up for 400 units, 40 units the last 24 hours, 36 units the last 7 days. So he is ready to go. But yeah, you can get all of Dave's picks here. You can see he has it basically for the DIY bettors out there, $199 available. And you can also see that he has his picks out here that you can purchase a la carte for only $19. You can purchase those as the day goes on. He has late steam. You can get in there for the 1 p.m. NHL game between Vancouver and Minnesota. So pretty easy. And then whatever you do, make sure you go ahead and use the promo code OG20 to get 20% off all of those pick packages there as well. So yeah, visit ogcappers.com for our very best bets every day. So I'm going to see, can I get Dave in here? Oop, no. I was trying to get your shirt. I was going to have it be a surprise.
Right.
There it is. So it's a bad graphic for camera 2, but that's what you get right now.
Buddy and I are going all in on the NHL today. So
right.
No, with the NHL for folks listening, and Mindy, you already know this.
Yes.
Is the EPA modeling in the NHL. We took what we did with the NBA, men's basketball, WNBA. And we made an EPA on hockey. And prior to the All-Star break, it did nothing short of piss me off. Right. I couldn't get going on it. And it was frustrating. So I said, okay, we gotta retool the NHL because the methodology in the NBA just isn't working in the NHL right now. That plus NHL juice, and if any of you bet the NHL, the juice is a really tough thing to manage. It's really tough to manage. You have got to, side note, anybody who says, hey, I this is my record, I'm plus this, this is my record in the NHL, ask them what the average juice is.
Right.
If they don't know what the average, my average juice in men's college basketball is not 110, right? Because we know we don't get 110. You can get Pinnacle at 106, you can get DraftKings at 115. It's all over the place. But if your handicapper or you are not tracking the juice, you are doing it wrong. 100% doing it wrong. You've got to know what your average juice is, because there is a huge difference in winning percentage requirements to be profitable between even 110 and 113. It's big numbers, right? So
yeah, it's one of those, like, you have to hit at almost 75% in order to come in at minus 150 odds. I mean, you have to really win a lot in order to show that you've made money. So yeah, it's easy to say, I'm like 150 and 100, but you may not be making actual money on those picks.
Right. There's a lot of people out there that have massive records, but it's against massive juice. They're actually losing money.
Right.
So if they don't know exactly what it is, then there's an issue. So like with men's college basketball, okay, back and forth with everything, my average juice on the year on men's totals is 112.7. In the NBA, it's 111.9. In NHL, when I was posting before I turned it off because it pissed me off, it was at 117.8. That is a massive, massive difference, folks. So back to the NHL modeling.
Sure.
We kept doing it, kept keeping track of it, and something weird has happened after the All-Star break. I don't know what it is, but suddenly since the All-Star break, the model is smoking. Just absolutely, it's 41 and 17 over the last 4 days. Yesterday, you saw my record
Yeah.
on OG Cappers that I posted. 4-0, 2-1 was men's college basketball. 4-0 was NHL hockey. 3-0 on totals.
Right.
And so since the All-Star break, now Mindy, you and I saw this last year in the NBA. After the All-Star break, the hot sheets got hot, right? And now we're seeing it in the NHL after the All-Star break. It's getting hot. I don't know if it's going to keep up, but when you're looking at 60 games and you've won 40 of them, and it's predominantly totals, so you're not getting high juice on
Right.
totals. That's kind of exciting. That's exciting. So I do have my NHL hot sheet. So we got all the games. I know you and I will preview a few of them later. But we got men's college basketball today. A pretty crappy slate, but it's not crappy winning, right? We don't care what we bet, right? So you got your thrill factor. There's not 5 thrilling games today.
But there's a couple, maybe 3 thrilling games. So we have to suffer through 2, maybe not so thrilling, but where we can make some money, right? Let's start off with Southern versus Texan Southern.
All right. Well, now in this game, Southern.
I feel like I lost your audio, your sound.
Oh, is that better?
There you go. Yep, it's better.
There we go. Sorry about that. So Southern on the road, 315th in defensive scoring efficiency, going up against
How many
Texas
teams
Southern,
are there in the
NCAA? That's a big edge. Now defensively, 215 on the road, 96 at home defensively. So I really like Texas Southern just in scoring efficiencies without looking at the modeling. Now going straight across, I got Texas Southern 78.9, so 79, 69. So I got Texas Southern by almost 10. I'm at 9.83. And the line on this is Texas Southern by 1. Is that correct, Mindy?
I don't have that in front of me, actually.
I think it's by 1.
I can look it up.
That's what I have right here in front of me. So I got it by 1 and 137.5 on the total. So I don't have good numbers where I want to bet the over, but I do like Texas Southern winning and covering at home this evening.
All right, so here, that's what I'll do is I'll make sure I get to my line service because I didn't have that sheet printed out. But next up, we got Lamar versus Southeast Louisiana. What do you got for that?
Yeah, and we talked about this one. Southeast Louisiana is favored by 2 at home, and the total is 143.5 in this ball game.
Right.
When you look at the numbers, Southeast Louisiana, better numbers at home, 134 on offense, 125 on defense, going up against Lamar, 183 and 228. So both numbers are in favor of Southeast Louisiana. Not strong, but in favor of them. So I got Southeast Louisiana, 77.4 to 70.8. So we got a 6.5 point spread by the calculations here. And we got a 2-point home favorite. Not a big variance, right? Not a big variance, but this show is also for everybody's due diligence. So if you are on Southeast Louisiana -2 or Southeast Louisiana money line at home, the numbers back that up. As for the total, we're sitting slightly over the total, but we don't have an offensive game. We just have a better team in Southeast Louisiana. So I'm leaning over on this, but it's not one that I would post as a play on OG Cappers for you.
Gotcha. All right, and then we're getting to the better games of the day here. We're going to go with Kansas State versus Texas. Texas here favorite by an 8.5. Total over under is 141.5.
Now, I like the defensive numbers in this game. Oh, baby. Without even looking at the calculations over on the right, look at this. 40th home scoring efficiency defense, 69 road scoring efficiency defense. Right? So I'm automatically thinking under on this thing. And look at the offensive numbers. 253 and 182. And who cares which teams are those two numbers, right? It doesn't matter if Kansas State's 182 or Texas is 182. We have a defensive ball game. Now, the total on this is 140.5, and my model's at 140.92. Damn, right? I was hoping for a bigger variance, but when I'm looking at these road performance numbers, offensive and defensive scoring efficiencies, I'm feeling under. So I know the model is sitting right on the line, literally standing on the line.
Sure.
I lean under on that. So, folks, if you got under Kansas State, Texas, under 140.5, boom, take it. You might want to wait. It might move up because
It
a
has a
lot of
little bit
people, look, a
because it's
lot of
at like
bettors,
141.5
people
right
like
now.
betting overs, right?
Yeah.
Because it's more fun. You're betting on more points. It's a more exciting ball game. So the lines can move when people just come in getting excited about scoring, more than 70-70. But, I have a 74-66 ball game. I got Texas by 8. The line's 8.5. So, I mean, the model is almost exactly what the lines are. I'm at 8.22 and I'm at 140.92, which is exactly where the numbers are on the board right now. But if I have to bet one thing in this game, I'm betting under 140.5 because of the defensive numbers that I have on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good one, that's for sure. And then this one, I think it has an interesting line, right? You have Virginia Tech. The home team is favored here by 3.5, but Virginia is the higher ranked, the better team here in this one. So it's going to be interesting. What you got? Again, Virginia Tech minus 3.5, over under 126.5.
Oh man, it is 126.5 is such a low number,
I
but I
know.
think
But these
Virginia's
are the
last game
folks
was
that like to put up the
49-47.
40s. Yeah. Right.
I mean, dude, that's watching paint dry.
Oh,
That
it's
that
bad.
that is really, really bad. Virginia on the road, 74th on defense, 213th on offense. Okay. But Virginia Tech at home, Virginia Tech is really good offensively at home, 39th in offensive scoring efficiency in the country, 128th on defense. Virginia Tech's pretty solid at home. Now, I got Virginia Tech 73-62. I got Virginia Tech by 10
That's
over
big.
Virginia. So I'm leaning Virginia Tech
Right.
at home to cover. As for the total, no, I'm not touching this. My projection is 136, and I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Absolute bullshit. The line is at 126, and I know in the back of my mind, Virginia put up 49 and gave up 47 last weekend. So
Right.
no, I'm not. The
So no.
model isn't built for recency performance enough, so I don't trust it at all. I'll take Virginia Tech to win this ball game, but you're not getting. There's no lean on the total. I'm totally off out altogether.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, if you take a look at the efficiencies, this is definitely an under game. And like you said, the modeling, mine came in at like 138, yours is at 136. But this has a big false next to it. I'm not playing this one either.
Yeah. So yeah, I just um, as for Iowa State, Houston, number one in scoring efficiency at home on defense, number one. So we're not betting any overs on this, right? We're not going anywhere near the overs on this thing. The line 127. I'm at 133. So again, the numbers are a little bit over, but you got to remember this is taking into account all these games, right? And expected averaging. But Houston is so dominant defensively. Iowa State, though, 94th on the road, defensive scoring efficiency. Houston, 153rd on offense. This is a defensive oriented game. I know my model is at 133. I know the line's at 127. I'm still leaning under in this. These teams are both defensively strong. I still think it's going to be under 127 in spite of what the EPA says here. The line, Houston is favored by 9, and I have Houston by 15.9 at
Oh
home.
wow. Oh wow.
So I have them kicking the crap out of Iowa State at home tonight.
I
Um, and,
guess.
and the one thing that I haven't factored in there as I'm thinking too is this is a Monday game, right? I mean,
Sure.
how down is Iowa State going to be traveling on the road on a holiday on a Monday? That's just I think that's a tough ask for a road team to go to Houston, a top defense, a team that's
Right.
top in something. So you got a top defensive team. You're playing on an odd day at night on a holiday. I think that's really going to be tough for Iowa State. So the numbers, like Houston, leaving the points, winning and covering at home, I'd lean under on the numbers, but I'm not going to bet anything because, well, the charts say go against that. So I'm off of that altogether.
Gotcha. So you want to do some NHL? I think I lost Dave, you guys. I think I lost. Oh, he's there.
I am. I was just checking something real quick on the numbers because there's something up with my microphone. I can't hear you very well. So how about this? How about you don't have to do anything? You can just stand there, sit there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip through the bottom 5 NHL totals for today. How I have it modeled. So the little bit off script. Normally we do my NBA, one NBA game, but now that NHL is back and hot again here, and I kind of want to introduce you to the modeling. The modeling is no different in the NHL than the NBA. It's still offense and defensive scoring efficiency. Now with NHL, you have scoring efficiencies equal strength. You have scoring efficiencies on a power play. You have scoring efficiencies shorthanded, shots on goal, pace of play, penalty minutes. So those things are all considered in here, just like in the NBA. It's just been really frustrating before the All-Star break. So Winnipeg and Calgary. Now I have 2 models. I have one model that's at 7.47 goals. I have another model that's at 5.06. So basically, I got 2 models. I got the last 4 games and the last 3 road, 3 home ice games. Okay. Both of them are at 5 points. And I like that because that's not setting us up for a 2-2 tie or a 3-3 tie. Then we go into overtime and get screwed on the over. Okay. So in this one, the line is 6.5. Both models are at 5, under 6.5. Winnipeg, Calgary, Vegas, and San Jose State. The line is 5.5. Model number 1 is at 5.83. So we're really at 6. The other model is at 5.81. These have been remarkably consistent teams the last 4 games and the last 3 road versus home. So we're at 6 on both models. Line is 5.5, over 5.5. Vegas, San Jose. I keep wanting to say San Jose State. My mind keeps going college football. I see San Jose. I'm like, San Jose State Spartans are going to go over 5.5. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Edmonton, Arizona. Edmonton is at the Coyotes tonight. The 4-game model is at 7.04. The 3-game model is at 5.41. So now we have some big time divergence here. The line on the total is 6.5. So 7, just a little bit above it. The 3 road, 3 home ice is significantly below it. So I'm leaning under 6.5. Now it's okay to be off of this one because the models aren't in consensus here. But the stronger variance is with under 6.5 in that game. Chicago at Carolina. The line is 5.5. One model is at 5.14, so we're at 5 there. The other model, last 3 road, last 3 home ice for these 2 teams. Expectations 4.43. So we are under 5. So we are rooting for a 2-2 overtime game, right? Just get it out of the way. And then we're done. But no, seriously, we're under 5.5. That's plus 105. Chicago, Carolina. So with the plus 105, obviously that's telling us that the books think it's closer to 6 than 5. Ottawa at the Tampa. Ottawa's starting the Tampa Bay Lightning late. Holy moly. That must be a late puck drop right there. Total on this one is 7. So there must be some shitty goaltending between these 2 teams to have a 7 out there. And the model backs up the shitty goaltending with a 7.84 and a 7.72 in the model. Now, if you can get 6.5, I'd grab that. I don't think you're going to get that out there because the model has this way way over. So I'm at 784, 772. So I'm over 7 on this one. Ottawa, Tampa Bay Lightning. So there's 5 picks for y'all with the totals. And the reason I'm sticking to the totals is in the model, the totals have been, it's like all the EPAs. The totals are stronger. They just are. When you're betting sides, the model is much better on your due diligence. When you're betting sides, that's where you're trying to figure out, okay, who's behind who's in the net tonight for both teams, who's out, who's injured. Totals, I don't worry about that so much because, I think there's a better variance there. When you're betting a side, though, I think that's where your due diligence has to come into a lot bigger play.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Dave. Sorry you can't hear. But I appreciate it. But yeah, make sure you guys get Dave's hot sheet. You can find him here, patreon.com, EPA Sports. You get his very best of the best plays at ogcappers.com. But if you get his patreon.com EPA hot sheet, you get all of those plays. So that's something that you can kind of take a look at there as well. But you guys, make sure you get over to ogcappers.com, get some of Dave's hot picks here today. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Good luck.